And I said this, and I would tell him, I go, let me stop you there. Sean McComb would give anybody at 140 pounds trouble. Nobody is walking through Sean McComb. He's lanky, has reach, and he has more pop than a lot of people think. Now, I believe there's levels in this. That woke Arnold up and said, I can't afford to have any other close fights. And, as I say, the rest is history.
Oh yeah, you know what? I see that as good. I'll tell you why. Cause that after that fight we looked like crap. To be honest, we did look like crap. I agree 100%. But then people started calling us out. I'll fight you, and uh, Ramirez right off the top said, "I'll fight." Ramirez fight us. It's two reasons why he fight us. Maybe three reasons. One, we look like shit on the Sean McComb fight. Two, he needed us. We were ranked number one. He was ranked number four. He figured I'll beat them. I'll be number one. Then I'll get Lopez. You know. So that's two reasons that I think, and that's the two main reasons that we didn't look good.
I want to hear the
We're,
third, Mr.
huh?
Barboza. I want to hear the third.
I even forgot what I was going to tell you on the third.
Talk about Mexican Independence Day. We could call this Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard it from the champion himself, knocking out the competition.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, shocked the world in the corner, shocked the boxing world, put up a great, spectacular victory over a fight many people thought he could not be victorious in. It's a team work when it comes to boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, there's even rumors already about Trainer of the Year. Our guest tonight, Arnold Barboza Sr. Welcome to The Fighter's Voice.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. You know, what do you say to those? First of all, congratulations. Congratulations. Spectacular performance, great game plan, and we're going to dive right into that. What do you say to those, Arnold, that they call it an upset? That a lot of people thought you were not going to be victorious going into that fight.
Well, I mean, this is a fight that we've been asking for quite a while since 2019. I mean, ever since we fought Alex Salcedo, that was a good measuring stick for uh, for the fight, and he dominated Alex Salcedo, pretty easy fight, which Salcedo has the same style as Ramirez. So a lot of people they underestimate us. So I mean, we were ready.
A lot of people always say, hey, we're ready, knock on my door. But I truly believed you were ready. I mean, a man is a very dangerous man. People can call out fighters, but if a fighter's been calling you out since 2019, he definitely has your eye on him, on your opponent. And in doing so, you get to know everything about him, his strengths, his weaknesses. Which round does he take off? What does he like to do? How is he living in between fights? And I believe you guys did your research. You stood back. You were very humble and very, very, very patient. And God delivered your opponent, and you guys did the rest.
Yeah, no, you know what? That's like I said earlier. We've been asking for this fight for a very long time, and we ended up signing with Golden Boy, and he signed with Golden Boy also. So I said, perfect. Perfect opportunity. Golden Boy promised us a fight, and they deliver.
How does it feel now knowing that you're one step closer? Like Tommy Hearns used to say back in the day, before he won that first world title, because he didn't just want to win the fourth belt, he wanted to be the first. And he would always make that comment, we're 1 mile away from home, which means we're almost there.
Well, you know what? I think this fight is the one that is opened the door for us. A lot of people say, well, he hasn't been fighting, world champions, eight type of fighters, elite level type of fighters, which that's not true, because he had fought before that prior two world champions, and Michael Barraro, Pedraza, and now, I mean, Ramirez, which one of the elite fighters. I mean, I love his style. I love everything about Ramirez. very respectful guy. I mean, but this is a fight that we needed to get us to the next level, you know. So now we're past that, and we're ready for whoever give us the opportunity.
Yeah, that was a unified world champion, Jose Ramirez. He always comes to fight, always moves forward, comes from a great camp, a great corner, and there can only be one that's victorious. Iron sharpens iron. Arnold got the call. Arnold performed. Arnold was ready. Where does that put him in the 140-pound division as far as opponents that have been named or opponents that I know Arnold's also been calling out Teofimo Lopez, and that's my point, sir. He hasn't been calling out just anybody. He's been calling out that elite level, that next step. It's like, what have you done today to get yourself to move forward? And Arnold has done that, calling out the big names. So where do you go from now? From now, you got the Ramirez, you got that giant out of the way. What's next in the Barboza camp?
So you know what? The way I see it, we did everything we can. We already did our job. So now it's up to the WBO to force Lopez to fight us. I mean, look who he's been fighting in the past three fights. He fought Sandra Martin, you know, somebody that wasn't even ranked higher than we were. Then right
Jermaine
after that,
Ortiz,
he fought Pedro Campas, another guy that wasn't even ranked. You know, he fought Jermaine Ortiz, you know, another guy that's coming from 135 from a loss. You know, he gets the opportunity. And then after that, he fights Steve Claggett. You know, no disrespect to Steve Claggett, great fighter, but it was somebody that was not even ranked. And then they ranked him top 15. He gets the opportunity. You know, they made him a super champion, so basically he could fight whoever the heck he wants to fight. You know what I mean? So we're not sitting and waiting for Lopez now. We're gonna continue to stay busy and fight whoever they put in front of us, and hopefully maybe one of the other champions will give us the opportunity.
a little bit of fun because I got some text messages earlier from some of the nicknames they were calling Arnold. I know they were just calling him Mr. Patient. Timothy Bradley called him the dark horse of boxing. Well, a lot of the Mexicanos nicknamed him the brown horse of boxing. And now they're calling him the uncrowned champion. I like that one.
Yeah, you know, like I said, we've been patient, extremely patient for quite a while now. We've been fighting top 10 guys for quite a while now. Like I said, we've been paying sanctioning fees for quite a while. Nothing happens. Like I said, they made Lopez a super champion. He could pick and choose whoever he wants. So now we did our job. So now it's up to the WBO to do their job and either force them to fight us or, you know, have them vacate the title. And then we could probably get it on with Jack Catterall.
I'm going to call Sean Gibbons. Say if he put in a good word. I know he's tight with the WBO. Sean Gibbons is tight with everybody, but Sean's a cool dude. And I know he would love to see that fight. There's a lot of people that would love to see that fight. That fight. Mark Kriegel would love to see that fight. Half the world would love to see that fight. It's a great matchup. And you know, if it was to come out today, right now, it would have to be a 50-50 fight. I don't want to hear Lopez is favored by this or that. You got to go off your last performance. And going off each
Yeah,
individual's last performance, Arnold, he painted a Picasso. He stuck to the game plan, was able to avoid the ring being cutting off, and he was on the ropes, I don't know, maybe 15% of the time, as opposed to Jose Ramirez. He's always imposing his will on his opponents, where their back are up against the ropes. And Arnold was able to avoid that because of his footwork.
yeah, he usually that's what he does. He mentally he breaks them down into he makes them stop using their feet. You know, the majority of the guys are hanging on the ropes, and Jose Ramirez he has to set his feet, you know, to get off. You know what I mean? And the minute you keep on turning and using your jab and stepping around, he has to reset. You know what I mean? So that was the key. That was the game plan. I know going into the fight. A lot of people thought it was going to be, you know, a toe-to-toe fight. We made it seem like it was going to be a toe-to-toe fight. I mean, every time they were asking Arnold, yeah, we're going to stay in the center of the ring. We're just going to go toe-to-toe. But in reality, I mean, we were that was our plan B, you know.
I remember about 3 years ago, I posted. I said the next Hagler Hearns, if they were to ever to sign to fight, because I know both opponents can go sit in there and bang. Now let me ask you this, because the game plan was set before, without giving out too much. When he put the game plan together, when it's all said and done, Arnold. I feel a little weird calling you Arnold because I call Arnold Arnold. I don't know if I should call you Senior or
No,
I know what I'll call
Arnold's
you,
fine.
Mister. No, I got one for you, Mister Barboza. When you put this
Yeah.
game plan together and it's all said and done, how well do you know Jose Ramirez now? Because I'm sure when I say that, I mean because you studied him, you knew the way he walked, his training camps. You probably knew what he had for breakfast. I mean, you guys were so in tuned on that game plan.
I mean, we like I said, we were 8 years with Top Rank. He was there probably 9, 10 years. So we watched the majority of his fights. He's been on our radar for quite a while. Like I said, since 2019, I felt that it was a fight that it's well for us. It's a fight that, I mean, we could beat him. I mean, we had all the tools, all the skills to beat him. So we've been keeping our eyes on him, like I do keep my eyes on all the 140 pounders. That's my job to try and study these guys. Anybody that's on our division, that's my job to stay on top of them.
Well, you know what? I hope the WBO does justice to you and you know makes that fight happen in 2025. I mean, I got some old footage of both men going back and forth, and they're going to take care of business in the ring. And I think that's a fight the fans want to see, and that's a fight that needs to take place. Um, Mr. Owens, I got to ask you this because I want to know a little bit about you. Why the sport of boxing? I mean, your son could have played football. He was a football player. You could have been a football coach. You could have done some other things. What made you become not only his father, his coach, his nutritionist, but his manager, his right hand man? I mean, and how are you able to keep boxing away from the dinner table?
You know what? That's something that I learned through over the years. I mean, I've been coaching boxing for quite a while, and I started training him since he was 5.5 years old. And that's one of the things that he actually stopped when he was 13 years old because he kind of got burned out. I kind of got him burned out. But then I realized, you know what? We don't need to talk about boxing. Once we leave the gym, we I'm back to being your father. In the gym, I'm your coach, I'm your trainer. But we learn how to separate that. So it's rare. I mean, I'm talking about very rare the time where we're home and we're talking about boxing. It's rare. Not unless I just got a phone call, some news. Okay, you're gonna be fighting here or something. Then I'll relay the message. But other than that, we don't discuss anything. Uh, Training is training. Whatever stuff happens in the gym, we leave it in the gym, and then we just come back home and some further thing.
You wear many hats now. Now you're wearing a manager's hat. How big of a transition is that to take care of some of the numbers and to look after your son?
Well, you know what? I don't forget. I managed his whole career, probably his first 25 fights into probably his last three fights when he had a manager. I had other fighters that I also managed mostly his whole career. So it was something that I've been doing for a while, and I felt comfortable. I felt real comfortable doing that, and I'm back of being his manager, advisor, trainer, and we're moving along.
There you go. Well, I'll put my suit on. I'll change my hat. So when you want to talk about an advisor, we'll talk later on after the show. When did you know I no longer, I appreciate the management coming in, but when did you realize, you know what, I can do this on our own. I can make our own power moves. When did you realize
You know
that?
what? After our contract was over, after our contract was over, in reality, he came up to me. He goes, "Dad, you know what? I really think that you should continue with your role, and the past is past with his ex manager. So what do you think? And I said, you know what, son, it's up to you. If you feel comfortable, you still want me to do all those decisions and do everything else, I'm fine with it. So it was his decision, and we just move forward.
And as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, Mr. Barboza, what did you participate in? Did you run track? Were you a basketball player? Were you a boxer? Tell the viewers, the fans, the followers exactly why you're the trainer you are today. Because iron sharpens iron. One sport helps another. There must have been something you had to be, because Arnold just didn't wake up with that athletic ability. Of course, God blessed him. But what sports did you play growing up?
I played soccer for a lot of years. I also did a little bit of kickboxing, here and there. So
Okay.
that's the two main sports and baseball. I also play baseball, so those are the three main sports that I love and I played.
When you played soccer, what number did you wear?
13.
And baseball, what number did you wear?
13.
And in kickboxing, what was your best combination?
My legs, because my legs, man, that's the reason I got into kickboxing, because my background
PKA,
is
correct?
soccer. Huh?
PKA, correct?
Excuse me?
It's called PKA. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the rule is, I believe you got to get 7 leg kicks per round or something to that effect.
No. It was just regular kickboxing. Regular
Okay.
kickboxing.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing you're not allowed to use it was in your elbows and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Kick on the groin, the knees, and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah,
Right on. So when you did enter the ring, what was your walkout song?
Mexican. I used to put Vicente Fernandez or Mexican songs.
Who inspired you to be the trainer that you are today?
You know what? I started actually in South Almani. That's when I started, Mr. Ben Lira. I started in South Almani. I coached there for probably about 15, 18 years. When I was doing kickboxing, Arnold was 5.5, so he wasn't old enough to start training under USA boxing
Right.
rules. So he was going with me to the gym, and then once he turned 8, I sent him to South Almani with Ben Lera, because Ben Lera at that time was training my daughter. My older daughter, she was already 8 years old, so she was able to go to the boxing gym. Yeah, so that's where I started.
Well, let's put together a dream team right now. One segment of hope. If you can share the ring with anybody, who would it be?
Julio Cesar Chavez,
What would be your walkout song today?
Sangre Caliente by Vicente Fernandez.
Who would be your cut man? Who'd be your trainer?
Uh, my cutman will be Don Chuy, and my trainer will also be Don Chuy.
There you go. There you go. I just had to, open up your mind a little bit and
Yeah.
let you relive those memories or that what if. I mean, because
Yeah.
it's okay to think. I always ask people, what would be your walkout song? I remember asking the president of the WBC, Jose Suleiman, and I think he said AC/DC, Black and Black. And I was surprised. I was kind of like, okay, yeah. So you never
Yeah.
judge a book by its cover. I expect,
That's right.
something else.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask and find out what happened with the negotiation, and was it enough time when Regis Prograis offered you that opportunity to fight for the world title? And why did it fall through?
Because he never signed. He never signed with Top Rank. If he would have signed with Top Rank, that fight was 100%. It was going to be Arnold and Regis, but then he ended up going with Eddie Hearn. And the second time they offered that, it was not enough time. We only had about, I believe it was like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So I wasn't gonna throw my son in there just to try and get paid, if we're not gonna be 100%. So the second time it wasn't enough time. That's 100% the truth.
I brought him up to get to this point right here. I went ahead and went out on a limb. Some people can love it, hate it, or get mad. I said in 2025, in February, why wait so long? Regis Prograis against Jose Ramirez in Fresno, California. How does that sound?
That's a great fight. That's actually a real great fight.
Both coming
They're
off
both coming.
losses. The
They're
winner
both
moves
coming
on,
off a
and as they
loss.
say. What was that, sir?
I said they're both coming off a loss. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Ramirez and Taylor. To be honest, that's another fight that
Yeah.
both coming off a loss. It'll be Ramirez and Taylor in Fresno will be huge. Regis against Ramirez will be huge in Fresno.
Well, even Regis, if he was to fight Taylor, that would be good
That's
because
another.
Regis coming off a loss, so was Taylor's unfinished business there. But I think the people still want to see that Ramirez and Prograis fight.
Oh, I agree 100%. And they're both real nice people. I mean, they both real humble people.
So the reality of it is, now that I'm thinking about it, it would possibly have to happen in Las Vegas because that would be one heck of a co-main event because the main event would be Arnold Barboza Jr. taking on Teofimo Lopez.
Oh, that'd be a great card.
April. That would be great to happen in April, man. But until then, I would love to see Regis and Ramirez in Fresno, possibly in February, and the winner can move on and, take it from there. But, I know Arnold, he wants to relax, rest, but man, I can't wait to see him again. I'm looking forward to his next outing.
Yeah, no, he wanted to start training this week, man. I had to force him to, take a couple weeks off, let the body heal, rest, and all that. And he go, how about a week? So we end up agreeing on a week.
There you go. He knew he performed. He knew he did enough to be victorious. He was feeling good in the groove. I can just see the look in his eye. I saw the look in his eye when he came into the ring. I could just saw all this expectation before the announcement was made. It was like looking at a kid getting ready to open up his Christmas present, and he already knew what was in the box.
Yeah, it's something like I said, something that he's been asking in Christmas, for Christmas for quite a while, and he was just excited, once he got that gift that he was looking for, and man, it made it. He was through the whole training camp, whole training camp. I mean, he's not that he other training camps is he doesn't work as hard, but I mean, we went back to Big Bear. He was 100% totally mentally and physically ready, which you have to be for Ramirez.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, I mean, the door opens up for him to finally get that exposure that he needs, get those opportunities that he deserves. He put the work in. Nothing has been given to him. I won't say who their names were, but I've talked to some analysts and some people and said, you know what, this kid has been getting shafted for a while because he's been in line. He's been the number one for about 3 years. He hasn't got his opportunity, and now he finally got his opportunity and it's time to shine. And it must feel good today to be Arnold Barboza.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, that was like he said it. That's my championship fight. This is the fight that I've been wanting for a while, and he finally got it. And to him, man, it meant more than if he would have been fighting somebody else for the title. So he got his dream fight, and he made the best of it.
What was that night like afterwards, after the victorious? When did it finally set in? Like, wow, this is so real. This is wow. It feels great. When did it finally set in?
Right after the fight, we went back to the dressing room, exchanging and all that, and yeah, we celebrated after the fight. We didn't go anywhere because obviously it was already late at night over there. We just went to have a almost breakfast, to be honest,
Yeah.
in the morning, and we ate, went back to the room, we went back to sleep, and that was it.
I thought Arnold was excited. To hear him be victorious, but something's going viral right now. Your granddaughter, his
Oh
daughter,
man.
when she saw the outcome, when she heard her daddy's name being called as the winner, she went ballistic. She was flying. She wasn't even walking. You could see
Man,
Angel
she
was
was
just
even,
guiding her. She was just,
yeah, man, that was
oh God.
amazing to see
That
her.
is
I was like,
beautiful and fun to watch, and that's what the sport is all about. And these are the scenes that you don't get to see behind the scenes in boxing.
man, that's her number one fan, and she even saying, I know I saw it too, and she's going, man, see that I believe or something. She's saying that yes, my daddy won, and you should see her when she goes to the Dodgers games too, bro. The minute she gets in there from first inning all the way to the ninth inning, she's into the game. She'll watch the whole game, and same thing with her dad is fighting. She'll get in front of the TV. She's cheering him. She's you could do it, dad, and all this kind of stuff. Man, that was fun to see. You know.
Well, that's that extra mile, that we talked about earlier in the show. 1 mile away from home, and now with that support right there, I mean, that just got some boost. Arnold, the whole team, and that little girl's gonna be an athlete. I don't know what sport, but she she can be a little athlete.
Yeah, no, she loves it too. She loves every sport, man. She'll sit there and watch a football game, like I said, a basketball game, baseball game, boxing. Obviously, I mean, she loves boxing, so she'll play something, that's for sure. You hit that nail right on the head.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you there. I don't know if I got a direct answer from you. What trainer today? eh, What trainer inspired you? I believe we did cover that, but what trainer today do you look at and you kind of say to yourself, "Wow, I dig what he's doing. That's a good trainer." Without putting you
Robert
on the spot.
Garcia, man. Robert Garcia to me is the number one trainer out there. Robert Garcia, no hands down, he's the number one trainer out there. Hands down.
He has a tremendous gym. I mean, people come all over the world. I out of like maybe the 5 times that I've been there, you never know who's going to be there. When I got there the very first time, I think they were shooting with Showtime, HBO. No, and then gosh, who else does? Oh yeah, they were doing an interview with Mikey. They were on location, and ESPN was there, and you never know who's going to be there. And those are the days. Robert allowed me to go down there and shoot the podcast down there, and he said, my gym is your gym. So I made sure never to overstay my welcome or take advantage of the situation. He's always been class act with me, and he has one heck of a stable.
Yeah, he does. He does. I agree 100%.
Now I'm thinking back and I'm looking at all the viewership and all the money that's coming in the sport of boxing. What did you think about the whole outcome and the whole matchup with Tyson and Jake Paul? I know you're getting tired of getting that questions, but let's talk about it sincerely because you are a trainer and you do know the sport of boxing.
You know what? It's good for Tyson. Good for Tyson. I believe he got like $20 million.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Jake Paul fight somebody young, uh, somebody that's up there. Uh, this exhibitions to me, it doesn't make sense. I mean, give the guy credit. Yeah, he's making money and all that. But I mean, if he really wants to take the sport seriously, I mean, why not fight seriously people?
Yeah, I agree with you. Or, possibly run it back with Tyson's with Fury's brother.
Fury's
Um,
brother.
yeah, the one who beat him got that loss, run it back.
Yeah.
Or, possibly Julio Cesar Chavez. But, Jake Paul's now a heavyweight. I don't know, if he really wants to take 30 pounds off, to come back down to light heavy or cruiser or, or maybe he just went up there for that Tyson fight.
Yeah, that's he might. I think he'll come down probably to cruiserweight, but like I said, if he wants to really fight somebody, maybe in the top 15 or somebody that's a real boxer, I mean, then I would love to see that. I wouldn't pay money to be honest to watch any of those exhibitions.
All right, then we're going to move along to. I'm hearing it's possibility of Bud Crawford and Virgil Ortiz. I don't know if you heard any things. I mean, his name has been in the some of the 3 names that were thrown at us. Saturday. after the fight when he was able to chance to talk to Oscar's people. What do you think of that possible matchup, and how do you see that? Uh, you know, how do you see that? How do you foresee that, and what would be the ending?
You know what? That's a great fight. I would love to see the fight. I'll pay money to see that fight. To be honest, I'll probably go on Virgil's side. One, because he's younger and he's a hell of a good fighter, pressure fighter. You know, he's gonna be on Crawford. I guarantee you. But Crawford on the other side, hell of a good boxer, could fight lefty, righty. So it'll be an interesting fight.
That would be a good fight. That's another fight the fans want to see, and we'll see how that plays out. And everybody wants a piece of Canelo too, and he's at a point in his career where he's going to pick and choose, and I think that's very well deserved.
I agree 100%. I mean, look who he fought, and everybody from Mayweather to to Cotto and all those guys. So he deserved. He deserved. He did his time.
Let me say this about Oscar De La Hoya that I have said before. One, Oscar De La Hoya has changed the sport of boxing. Before he started fighting, I mean, we'd have women at the shows, but not now. Not like the way Oscar brought females into the seats. Two, win, lose, or draw, Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody in his era.
I agree 100%. I remember one time he fought. I believe it was in Dallas. Man, like at least about 70%. 70% were all females in there.
Yeah.
So he changed the sport of boxing. 100% agree with you, man. He changed the sport of boxing, and he fought everybody from Trinidad, Mosley, you name it. He fought everybody.
Ran it back with Mosley. Bernard Hopkins, Pernell Whitaker, Hector Macho
Yeah.
Camacho, Chavez twice. Miguel Angel Gonzalez, all of them. The only fighter they never really got to match up against each other. And I remember asking Al Bernstein that question. I said, how do you think Oscar and De La Hoya and Kasia Azul would do? And he had to stop and think about it. He said, oh, that would be an intriguing fight. But, they never had a chance to fight each other.
Yeah. Yeah, Kasu, man, he was something else, man. He had some pop, that's for sure.
He did. Have that wide stance,
Yeah. Little ponytail going on, and
Yeah.
man, he could crack, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Then, he ran into Vince Phillips, and,
Yeah,
everybody
there you
has
go.
that person that's there that sometimes has your number or causes you to become better. And my point is this: a lot of people have asked me about Sean McComb, and I said this, and I would tell them, I go, let me stop you there. Sean McComb would give anybody at 140 pounds trouble. Nobody is walking through Sean McComb. He's lanky, has reach, and he has more pop than a lot of people think. Now, I believe there's levels in this. That woke Arnold up and said, I can't afford to have any other close fights. And, as I say, the rest is history.
Oh yeah, you know what? I see that as good. I'll tell you why, because that after that fight we looked like crap. To be honest, we did look like crap. I agree 100%. But then people started calling us out. I'll fight you, and uh, Ramirez right off the top said, "I'll fight." Ramirez fight us. It's two reasons why he fight us. Maybe three reasons. One, we look like shit on the Sean McComb fight. Two, he needed us. We were ranked number one. He was ranked number four. He figured I'll beat them. I'll be number one. Then I'll get Lopez. You know. So that's two reasons that I think, and that's those two main reasons that we didn't look good.
I want to hear the
We're,
third, Mr. Barboza.
huh?
I want to hear the third.
I even forgot what I was going to tell you on the third.
I think I kind of know a little bit, but it's okay. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, we won't give him everything right now.
I'll pass on the third one, but you know what I was talking about.
Yeah, I do. We can't give him everything.
Yeah.
Not at all. Arnold texts me, goes, man, how'd you get my pops on the show, man? He really doesn't do interviews.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
he's
said,
probably
man, I reached out to him, and he deserves his flowers. He deserves his platform because I've watched you. I've watched you too, and how humble you were, and how loyal your son is to you. And That right now, it's a great team. That's a great father and son tandem.
Yeah, we got a pretty good, like I said, we got a pretty good relationship with. Uh, we leave everything in the gym, and after the gym, we're just father and son, man, father and son. And we try and make the best of it. Once we're in training camp, it switches a little bit, but like I said, we get back home even if we're in training camp because we're staying together. We're in Big Bear for 5 weeks, and
Yeah.
once we leave the gym, we're back to normal.
Yeah, Arnold was feeling good. I remember he said trainer of the year, pointed at you, and he said one of the best attorneys out there, which is, his attorney was there, and he was fired up, and he said, put respect on my name, very very well deserved, and he, stuff he's been holding in,
Yeah,
and
he's been holding in for a
yeah,
while. It's frustration too, that like I said, he's been ranked for number one for quite a while. He hasn't got the opportunity. We were, like I said, we were all those years with Top Rank under. He was always under Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez this, and we just never got the opportunity, to face. At one point, Top Rank had the majority of all the 140 pounders, and we just seemed that we couldn't get the opportunity. Ramirez was getting all those opportunities, and we were not getting anything. So it was a lot of years of frustration. But I mean, now it's over, and now we just continue to move forward now.
let me ask you this. It's kind of odd question, but I'm gonna ask you anyways. If you were Ramirez's advisor, where does he go from here?
Uh, like you said, I would look for to put him up with someone like Regis. That would be a good fight for Ramirez right now. Josh Taylor will be another two guys that I'll be looking at to put him back in there. Ramirez, man, always one fight away. You know what I mean? He's just one fight away with either Regis or Taylor, and he'll be back on top. So that's the two guys that I would be looking at. I would have been looking at Regis, and I would be looking at Taylor, Josh Taylor, maybe at a higher weight class. Ramirez, don't forget, he's been at 140 pounds for the majority of his career. So I will be advising maybe moving up in weight, to be honest.
That'd be a good move, and that's I would advise him the same thing. Definitely, I think his body needs to grow, it wants to grow, and um, you know, and let him reboot himself, and open up another chapter in his life.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. 100%.
Listen, I'm going to ask you, how would Tommy Hearns do if he was matched up against Floyd Mayweather?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I would probably go with Tommy Hearn just because his reach, he was just something else, something special. His range, he knows how to use his whole arsenals. I
How
don't
about
think Mayweather wasn't going to get in as easy or do those shoulder rolls with Tommy Hearn.
not with that right hand coming?
Not with the right hand, the cannon coming behind.
Well, what about Sugar Ray Leonard and Pernell Whitaker?
With Sweepy, oh shit. Ah, bro, to me that's like a 50-50 fight because the defense of Burnett Whitaker was something else, something special.
Yeah.
So that would have been like a 50-50 fight.
And here's one that I dream about all the time. Roberto Duran and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Woo, man. I'll probably still go with Chavez if they would have met at the right moment. I would have probably still go with Chavez.
How does Arnold Barboza do against Teofimo Lopez?
It'd be a good fight. Very talented, Teofimo Lopez, but like I said, I think we have the boxing skills to give anybody trouble. And like you can see with Lopez, he has trouble with guys that know how to use their feet and they're quick.
I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Barboza. I was impressed with his footwork. I've never seen. There was a couple times he was sinking down, and you wanted him to stand tall. So when he went down, Ramirez went down for a second. Like, okay, I'll adjust to you either way. But his footwork, my gosh. And whenever someone says, Richard, take a look at this fighter, let me know what you think. I don't even look at them from the waist up. I'm gonna be honest with you. All I look is their feet. I want to see their feet. The rest you could teach, but the feet. I mean, as you know, I'm preaching to the choir here, and his footwork was spectacular. I mean, that was a key. That was a huge key to his victory.
Yeah, that's actually his strength. His footwork and his hand speed. Uh, Trust me, he could really. This kid could really box. He could really box.
Bro, I was looking at everything from the snack shirts and then the gloves matching. How the gloves match the shorts. He put a lot of thought into his wardrobe and walking out. The Everlast with the burgundy, with the gold popping with the shorts. He put his little, he came out G'd up.
Yeah, that's USC
Trojans.
colors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's right. I know. I mean, when I saw him in LA when he was on the Lomachenko undercard, he was wearing his Laker jersey when he was walking in as well.
yeah. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, man. That was
Yeah,
his favorite player.
exactly. But I want to say this. How about them Dodgers, baby? Finally got over that
Man,
hump.
1988, man. I remember Oral Hirsch. I remember everything because that same year the Lakers won also 1988. So it's been a while.
That's when they had Magic, Worthy, of course, Kareem. They used to call him Superman, Clark Kent with the glasses. Gosh darn it.
Kurt Rambis,
Yeah, Kurt Rambis, and
Michael Cooper,
Michael Cooper,
Byron Scott. They
Byron
had all
Scott.
those guys.
And back in the day, they
Showtime.
used to have Norm Nixon too, number 10. Before they
Yeah,
traded him, he got traded out to where did he get traded to? LA,
I can
yeah,
remember we
Clippers.
got trained,
Yeah,
but he's
Clippers.
yeah. Yeah, no, that was a Showtime. Those team was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah, exactly. They shouldn't have even been legal, man. They were just an arsenal, and
Yeah.
that team was put together, and just like this career that's going. I know you want to take some time off, and when can we expect to see you in the ring? Where you start to say this is the month we're looking at, and how many fights do you want to have in the year 2025? Because I'm
Hopefully
talking to the
three.
manager here. I'm talking to the advisors. So I want to know.
Hopefully three. Hopefully three fights we could have in 25, 2025. Like I said, we're not gonna wait for nobody. We want to stay busy. Hopefully we'll fight three times next year, and like we did this year. This year we fought three times, and hopefully we'll get the big one next. But if not, we'll just continue to stay busy.
How do people follow you? How do people stay in tune with you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Twitter? How can we follow you? Let everybody know so we can stay in tune with you.
On Instagram, I believe, to be honest, I'm not too much of a social media guy, but on Instagram, I believe I'm under it's Arnold Senior underscore Barboza.
And you're on Facebook as well because I tagged you there, and I
On
hashtag you
Facebook, but
on.
I don't even, to be honest, I don't hardly get on Facebook. Instagram, I'll
You
get
just
in
take
there,
care of
but
business, huh?
yeah, I'm not too much of a social media guy.
Okay. Well, before we go, I want to give a shout out to Madera High School. They gave me this hat right here. They gave me this hoodie. Madera High School,
Nice.
Madera, California. All the kids. I want to wish them well during the break, and I want to give also the high school that I work at, Mount Vista. Hey, I want to say what's up. How's everything going? And you know what? Hey, the Fighter's Voice cares about you too. Mr. Barboza, I appreciate your time. Appreciate your honesty, and I want to have you back on the show. I'm going to talk some more boxing, even if Arnold's not fighting that month or coming up. Let's talk old school boxing, man. I want to pick your brain a little bit, and then
You got it.
you can pick my brain too.
Okay, Rich. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, hey, the pleasure's all mine. Let me say this before we leave. Those of you who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe. www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. As always, Mr. Barboza, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Thumbs up for Richard.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.